everyone! Today I am baking and I want to show you guys some tricks with doing buttercream frosting on cupcakes. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just sit you down behind me and give you an up-close shot of doing frosting. Alright, so in your piping bag, if you've never used one before, I use a plastic Wilton piping bag. And you put your tip in, you just cut off the end of the bag and stick in the tip. And then I fill my bag just a little above half full. So this is a 12-inch bag, so we're just about maybe 2/3 full here. And this is my buttercream. I did a maple buttercream today because I did maple bacon cupcakes. And when you're doing a cupcake, you want to hold it in your hand. And if you're left-handed, obviously you go left-handed. But I am right-handed. So we have our cupcake here. And what I'm going to do a rosette, so this is what I'm working on as a rosette, is I'm going to start in the middle, and it's almost going to be like a lowercase e, the way you go around. And you want some pretty firm pressure. If you do it too light, you're going to end up making like a bajillion swirls. And so for not doing enough pressure on our cupcake, I'll show you if you're doing light pressure. And if you're new to this, it can be kind of intimidating. You don't want to mess up. So here's what happens if our pressure is too light. See, we're going around. I've already gone around once, now twice, coming up on a third time. It takes a lot, and it still looks okay. But you can see how different it looks than doing a heavier pressure. You'd circle a lot more and it tends to look more swirly instead of like a rosette. So let me go ahead and show you. So you're going to go ahead and start in the middle, and then like I said, it's going to be like a lowercase e. So we're going to start here and we're going to swirl, nice strong pressure, come around, and it is one full loop, and there you go, there's your rosette. Now there are other ways to decorate a cupcake. You can put your tip just right above and squeeze and lift up, and you're gonna get like a little flower shaped. And if you go all the way around, it's gonna look like a hydrangea, which is really cool. And I will post a picture of that right here. Another thing you can do if you want to try something different for the top instead of a rosette is like a ruffle. So you're going to start at the bottom and you're going to give it a really good heavy squeeze, even heavier than what you did for the rosette. So you're going to just keep your tip right here and you're just going to squeeze, and you see how it billows up, and if you just swivel a little, it's going to give it a nice tall ruffle look. Okay, and you can kind of play with it so that it gives it an even ruffle as you go up. Next up, if you want to do a classic cupcake swirl, right? You're going to do like you did with the rosette. You're going to start and you're going to go around once. And then right at the end, instead of lifting off, you're going to go up to the next layer and swirl. And there you are. There is like a classic swirl. So there's a few different ways to go ahead and do buttercream. And like I said, if you want to practice on a plate instead of a cupcake, or if you have a cupcake and you just wipe it off, you can try the different styles. You can try the classic one, you can try the ruffle one I just did, you can try the rosettes, which are fun and quick. And these, you see this a lot on cakes, like a rosette cake. They're beautiful. And the nice thing about doing that I like a rosette on a cupcake is I'm going to be topping these with maple glazed bacon, and the bacon's going to have a good chance to rest on top and hit all those crevices. Here, just because it's so steep, there's more of a chance that's going to want to just fall off. There's not as much to hold it on. So that's why I really like doing the rosettes for cupcakes. And for my buttercream, I like it to be about a medium stiffness. For my cupcakes, I do a ratio for every 1 stick of butter, I do 2 cups of powdered sugar, and then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. And then you also add in your extract. The really nice thing about that recipe is that it is the perfect consistency. Mix it not too high, because if it gets whipped too high, it's going to get air bubbles in it. and it's become more really whipped, which if you want that consistency, you want a really whipped light buttercream, it's a really good recipe to use. But if you want it to be a little, not dense, but just a little firmer so it holds its shape really well, that's a really good recipe to give you the consistency you want. If it's too soft, if you put too much liquid in it, it's going to want to wilt. And your peaks are not going to stay up. Your rosette's going to kind of want to mush down. If it's too firm and too dense, then what happens is that it's not as palatable, first of all. The second thing is that the edges may break and not be as smooth, and that can cause some problems, and it's really stiff and tough to squeeze out of the pastry bag. So I will put that recipe in the description below, and I'll also put in the tip I used, the bags where you can get those, because sometimes it's tricky to find the right ones. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and have a great day.